Well, good morning and happy Saturday. Cynthia Gordon, representing Whole, women helping others live empowered. So, today's video will be about transparency. So, last week, I talked about dressing up the press. And while it's important for us to press, it's important for us to keep going, it's important for us to never give up. The press is real, though. It's real for everyone, Christian or non-Christian. We all have things that happen in life, things that we go through, things that we press through, whether it's deaths, sickness, relationship issues, children issues, loss of a job, or just issues on a job or with a boss or a coworker, issues with your sisters, brothers. In this life, there are many troubles. So while keeping your head up helps you get through, and speaking life into your situations are absolutely can benefit the situation, it's also imperative that you recognize that you're in a situation, whatever that situation might be. So often, even things that we decide are negative, we usually get through them. Not only do we get through them, so often that we thought was a negative thing, God will turn that thing around and it'll work out for your good. I believe that you have to overcome and truly know that there's blessings in everything, that you can find the blessing in everything if you're looking. But not only for you, but for the people around you. And that's where that transparency comes in. If you're honest, and I don't mean that everybody that you meet in the grocery store you tell your business to, but guess what? Sometimes in the grocery store you might be a blessing to someone. I'm reminded a few weeks ago I was in a TJ Maxx, and the lady behind me that wasn't socially distancing enough for me initially, she had just lost her mother, and we were able to have a conversation about some feelings wrapped around that. Because sometimes there's a guilt that you have if you are prepared for your parent to leave and you ask God to take them out of their misery, whatever that misery may be. But even when you say that, you have to second guess and go, am I just ready to stop being a caretaker? Am I being selfish by thinking that it will be better for them to be out of their misery? No, that's not selfish. And please don't feel guilty if you've ever felt like, God, please take my loved one. If that loved one is suffering, if that loved one is no longer able to have a quality life, the quality of life that you know that they're used to, and they are saying they're tired, even if they can't speak that they're tired, but you know that they are. I'm talking from experience now, that I had such a guilt on me because I was ready for my mom to go. And 17 years later, I'm still not ready for her to be gone. So deal with that if you're dealing with elderly parents. That'll make sense to you. That transparency, yes. And so there was some guilt wrapped around thinking my mom is no longer happy here. My mom is just in misery. God, please take her. But I still felt guilt wrapped around that. Now, I know certainly God only delivers a baby when it's time, and he only takes us home when it's time. And we won't be ready sometimes for either. But anyway, the transparency, though, that allows others around you that are dealing with similar situations to get free from the bondage. And truly, the shame is bondage. And we get shame wrapped around our issues or things that we're going through, because we think we're the only one, or we think that if we have a problem or if we have an issue, that we must have done something wrong or we must be bad. The devil is a liar. Everyone has issues. Everyone goes through. And your transparency, though, can be a blessing to someone else. And truly, it can be a blessing to you, because that shame that you wrap or let bind you up because you have whatever it is. It could be, I don't know, maybe you got a car repossessed. Maybe your house is in foreclosure. Maybe you just have a credit card late. I don't know. Maybe you're afraid of the dark. I'm 55 years old and I suck my thumb. Somebody might think that I should hide that fact. Doesn't bother me to tell you. And if you're really close enough with me, you've already seen it. No, I don't sit in my office and suck my thumb. But baby, if you ride with me in my car on a long trip, my pillow is in my lap and I will suck my thumb and drive. Hey, don't judge me. But again, that transparency, because there's someone who's watching this who has a habit that someone thinks that you shouldn't have. I don't know. Maybe you rub your hair. I got a cousin that likes to rub hair, or you rub your ear, whatever is your thing. It just is. It just is. And so sometimes we have these issues, again, that keep us in bondage, and it's no good for you. And you're missing out on the freedom that God's already told you that you have. He's already said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. So some of the things that you may have done that were bad, release yourself. Jesus paid it all. Now, you got some issues of an illegal nature, or even of a sinful nature that you need to deal with. Deal with it with God, but don't let man bind you. Don't let what others think of you bother you. I am so free to suck my thumb at 55. You would not believe, because I just don't allow people. And it's crazy that I have older cousins that still, every time they see me, tell me to take my thumb out of my mouth. Maybe they ought to get free. So if you're watching, stop that, cousins. Anyway, but I digress. Whatever your challenge, whatever it may be, that you have to overcome, deal with that with yourself. But be free and be transparent, because I promise you someone else has dealt with it, or in your midst even, that's dealing with it. And they need you to say, if you've overcome something, that you can let them know how you overcame. Let them know that there is an end to this. If you are honest, you can get help. If you have been through something, and if you've been through something, you can use your lessons to be a help to someone else. Issues only have power that we give them. So if you have financial issues, you have drug problems, gambling, maybe you deal with suicidal thoughts, maybe you're afraid of the dark, I don't know. But you know. So be honest with you first and foremost, and free yourself from thinking that you're bad, or even that you're alone in whatever your issue you're facing. The fact of the matter is, someone else has faced it before. Someone's facing it now. And the only power that these things have is the power that you give them. Don't be ashamed. Get help. And then be transparent. Like, dude, I used to do this. I used to do that. But God helped me. But counseling helped me. But you know what? Whatever it is, I just woke up one morning and I no longer do this. But you can definitely be a blessing to someone else. You know what? I've been married 31 years, but my first son first two actually, the one I gave birth to and my bonus, they were born before we were married. So what? Do not be that person that makes, and I wasn't a teenager. I was 22 years old, almost 22 when I had my first son. But guess what? I'm 55. I did marry his dad. And even if I would not have, I made it, so did he. Petty officer, first class in the U.S. Navy, born to a 21-year unwed mother. Guess what? We're fine. We're fine, we're fine, we're fine. And so are the others that came behind him. You know, I think we have to get to a place where we know that our current reality is not our final destination. So don't be ashamed of what you're going through. I guess that's the bottom line. Shame is bondage, and the transparency is freedom. And it's freedom for you and blessings to those around you that may need that help. I tell people all the time, God doesn't save you just for you. He saves you so that you can be loving and kind to those around you, that you may be a benefit to the kingdom. So I pray that this is sinking in, that you get it, that no matter what it is, someone else has gone through it or will go through it. Maybe they don't admit it to you, but even that, your freedom lies in your transparency. Not that you're not pressing through, not that you don't have a mess somewhere, but you keep pressing. And maybe you can't be transparent during your press. Although I suggest that you do. Because if you're transparent, maybe the person next to you has a testimony that they'll share that can help you. All of this thing, you know what, this thing called life, we're all muddling through. We're all trying our best. There's not a one way fits everyone, but certainly if I've already learned something, if I've already been through something, and I'm transparent with you, you know, even if you're still in it, it's not over. It's not over. Just keep getting up. Keep getting up. Keep trying. Don't give up. So my transparency can be a blessing to you. And if I'm going through it, my transparency may help you bless me. It all works out. It really does. And if you are in the midst of people that make you feel bad, then truly it may benefit you to check out your circle. Check out your circle. You know, those that love you, those around you, truly, if they love you, they won't make you feel bad about who you are, about things that you go through. So anyway, I pray, I really do pray that we learn to trust God's plan, even though we have free will, and even though we face issues. Most of them aren't to death. They just aren't. If you've lost a car, if you've lost a friend, even, you know what? Some things are just for a season, and even people, they come in and out of your life, and they serve a purpose. And maybe they aren't meant to be your everyday talk to friend for the rest of your life, but you can make it. You really will. So the purpose of this video is to help you to realize that transparency is both freedom to you and potential blessings to all that you may come in contact with similar struggles. So I hope that it's blessed you. I hope you got something that you can use now or for later. But I pray that you do think about it, that you think about it, and you move accordingly. Take what you can use, and that you don't think is a benefit to you, put it in your pocket. You may need it later. Anyway, I pray that I blessed you. Have a great Saturday on purpose. I love you.